look who it is. Liking what you've done with the place, boss. Gang certainly seem pleased with their new little kingdoms. Haven't seen people this revved up since last time someone spiked the water fountains. Never formally introduced myself. Name's Shank. And if you and Nuka-World's favorite Cyclops are standing here, well, I suppose he expects you might be the one to finally get things back on track. How long did it take him to convince you it was time to move on the Commonwealth?
Hey now, no convincing, just a friendly conversation between like-minded individuals.
It sounded like a good idea.
Because it is. Giving the gang spots to call their own around the park, it bought you some goodwill. But providing them with their own domains, carved from the settlements of the Commonwealth, well, I can't think of a better way to solidify your place around here. Plus, make us all a pretty penny along the way. If that interests you, well, all you've got to do is say the word, and we can let the fun begin.
I wanted to ask about your role in this.
I'm listening.
Which gang do you work for?
Don't work for the gangs. Gage brought me in to work for the overboss. Plan was I'd advise Coulter in his grand scheme to run roughshod over the Commonwealth. And despite Coulter's change of heart, I've kept my ear to the ground, just in case that day ever came. I'm hoping today might finally be it.
What is it that you get out of helping me do this?
I've been well taken care of up to this point. I ain't greedy, but people with my kind of talents aren't common. All I'm looking for is a continuation of the lifestyle I've become accustomed to, and the same piece of the Commonwealth pie everyone else around here has been itching to take a bite of.
So what exactly is it you do?
I'll walk you through all the ins and outs of getting us established on the other side of those mountains. Claiming territory, running jobs, keeping folks loyal. Gage and Coulter also tasked me with keeping on top of the goings-on back there, so I'll provide you with guidance on the places we can hit and the places we can't. Kind of makes me your one-stop shop for causing havoc in the Commonwealth.
That was all I had?
So, does that mean you're ready to begin?
Okay, let's get started.
Music to my ears.
Shank ain't kidding. This is gonna be all kinds of fun.
So getting us set up in the Commonwealth's gonna require 3 things: territory, provisions, and loyalty. First things first, territory. We're gonna need to claim a settlement for our gang to work from, an outpost. And there are 2 ways to claim new territory. You can head in yourself and convince the locals to leave, or I can get a crew together and you all can put them in the dirt. How you do it is up to you. So, first big decision. You want to talk them off their land, or you want to wipe them out?
I think you know what I'd rather do, boss.
How does that choice affect our bottom line?
Well, settlers will probably rally some bodies if you try and wipe them out, but it's a guaranteed way to claim a spot. If you try to scare them off their land, there's a chance they might just tell you to take a hike. At that point, you might be able to buy them off. But it could end up getting expensive if you don't work them over a bit first. Beyond just that, there are some places out there overrun with trouble. Ghouls, children of Adam, and the like. Those places aren't going to be interested in having a chat, so you're going to have more options if you go in guns blazing.
Let me talk to them. I'll convince them to leave.
Works for me. Once you've planted your flag in the place, I'll send a crew in to set up shop. Now, next up, you'll have to pick who you want to hold your outpost once it's established. Of course, every outpost you claim for a gang is going to be something the other gangs don't have. And none of them like the thought of their rivals getting a leg up on them. Worth thinking over as you dole out more territory. So, which gang should I have join you once you've staked your claim?
The Disciples.
Yeah? Better bring a tarp.
I'm sure the ladies will be happy to get some blood on their hands. For a good cause, of course. For any cause.
That just leaves the target. Now, for a new outpost, you'll usually want to target a spot with plenty of populated settlements nearby that might be able to feed our people later on. Taffington Boathouse, Croup Manor, Greentop Nursery, the Slog all had a good number of farms within striking distance last I checked. Though I'll need to go through my notes again, make sure they're all still good to target. We're not always going to be able to run every job against every settlement. So, you ready to pick the spot for Nuka-World's first new homestead?
We can't target certain settlements with certain jobs?
Unfortunately. Can't talk people off their land if there's no one around to talk to and the like. Most cases, I'll try to let you know why we can't target a place, but the biggest hindrance is if there's already some activity going on there. Though if that is the case, that Pip-Boy of yours might be able to give you some info on whatever might be blocking us hitting that spot. Now, you ready to pick that first settlement?
I'm ready.
Good. So, where do you want to hit? Wait, pretty sure that place is one of yours, boss. That's where you want to hit?
That one's the target.
Of course, boss. So, to get these folks to scram, you got two main options. Buy them out, or scare them off. Either way, the more afraid they are, the simpler or cheaper getting them gone will be. Lizzie Wyeth over with the operators should have some toys that'll make running them off easier. And it's worth keeping in mind, the more populated or fortified a place is, the more prep you're gonna want to do before trying to run them off. Scare them good, boss.
Hey, something I can do for you? There's a gang of raiders coming for this place. Mine. But if you leave right now, I promise you, you won't have any problems.
Leave? Thanks, but no thanks. Now I think I'm gonna have to ask you to go.
Look, I'm trying to help you here. You need to go now.
Look, why don't you just do us both a favor and scram?
You stay here another minute, and trust me, You're gonna regret it.
Yeah, I'm thinking no. Now, if you don't have anything else...
You know what? I'm leaving.
And don't come back.
Hey, you.
You again. How about you just get out of here?
I'm gonna make this easy for you. Take these caps and go.
Caps? For this? Yeah. Fine. I guess it's all yours.
Now that you mention it... Hey.
Fine.
So we're on your good side, huh? That means you either like us or fear us.
Well, well. Rumor going around is that some big bad raider boss strolled into the Commonwealth and talked a group of settlers right off their land. Not too shabby.
It's a damn good start.
I'll make sure your cut of any caps the outpost pulls in are waiting in your quarters. So, now that we got part 1 on the books, we can move on to part 2, provisions. If you want to hang on to this newfound territory, you're going to need to convince a nearby settlement to start handing over shipments of supplies. I'll make sure those shipments get distributed direct to the outpost. Any caps they provide will be waiting in your trunk up in Fizztop. And the more a settlement produces for itself, the more of each we can get them to cough up. Now, like before, the method's up to you. You can try talking to them yourself, convince them to hand over the goods, Or you and a crew can introduce some bullets to some kneecaps.
Why stop at kneecaps?
Let me talk to them. I'll get them to hand over what we need.
Sure. So, which crew you want keeping an eye on the place once you get them to bend the knee?
The operators.
I'll send word along. Then all that's left is the target. Only wrinkle is that it's got to be near our crew's new outpost. No settlement's just gonna hand over goods if there's no one close by to follow up on threats. And if you ever want to see for yourself which settlements are within range of our outpost, you can check the map in your Pip-Boy. The Slog might be a good choice to hit, though I'd have to confirm that's still the case. So, where do you want to hit? Huh. Was that? Believe that spot's one of yours, boss. Still want to proceed?
That one's the target.
Ruthless. So, to get these settlers to cough up provisions, they need to know that we aren't a crew to be trifled with. You can try convincing them to pay up, or you could rough them up some. Let them know we mean business. Plus, having an outpost nearby gives us another option. Claiming the airwaves. Building a Nuka-World radio transmitter at an outpost within range of the target will let them know we're closing in on them. Your Pip-Boy map should show you which outposts are close enough to serve. And if none of that works, well, I suppose you could always try paying one of them to convince the rest. Just bring us back something nice.
Seems like the work never ends, but I'll get it done.
Boss, someone's coming through the gauntlet. Go see Fritch. He'll tell you what to do.
We'd all considered putting the bullet in Coulter's back at some point. Suppose you just beat us to it.
Imagine William North.
Coulter said we'd all have more caps than we knew what to do with. Glad that bastard's dead.
You know,
It's a homemade distillation brewed to mimic human flight pheromones. Toss one of these grenades at the feet of your target, and convincing the wary settler suddenly becomes a much simpler affair. Now, to function effectively, I had to make the formula precise. So it's not going to work on people in any of the big towns like Bunker Hill or Diamond City, nor on caravanners. But for your purposes, hitting settlements out in the Commonwealth, it ought to give you a serious edge.
Take any advantage I can get.
Well, this should give you one. Here. Only had enough to make the one locally, but you can take the recipe as well, should you find yourself wanting more. So, the other trick up our sleeve is a little more broad spectrum than the grenades. Gulp down a couple lungfuls, and anyone you speak to will be far more apt to give you what you want. Plus, I've winnowed down the addiction risk to near zero, so no need to fear repeat usage. Here, ingredients for that one have been tricky to find, but between that and the grenade, you should have no problem getting at least one settlement under your control before you have to brew up your own. And just remember us when you're crushing those poor settlers underfoot,
Over, boss. Making trouble? Good.
don't you worry about what that
Hey.
shit is gonna do to you.
What? Just... Ooh. Whew. Oh, yeah? Something I can do for you?
I'm here to make you an offer. This place will supply me and my friends in Nuka-World caps, food, whatever you got. In exchange, we won't bother you.
Oh, I don't know. A lot of hard work goes into this place. Can't just give it to you.
Listen, you're gonna start working for me now, all right? Just keep the supplies coming and we won't have any problems.
Fine. If it'll get you off my back, now please, get the hell out of here.
They're threatening to tear the place apart if we don't get the hell out of there. It's cute, but irritating.
Then I guess we'll just have to let them know who they're dealing with. You did good. Now get going. The adults are gonna discuss this. Figure this would happen sooner or later. Our outposts caught the attention of some of our new neighbors in the Commonwealth. An outside crew of raiders think we're honing in on their territory. Sounds like they're planning to tear the place up, and our people with it. Suppose this provides us a good opportunity to make an example. You thinking what I'm thinking?
Mayhem and destruction is what I'm thinking, for what it's worth.
Were you thinking about throwing an ice cream social too?
Wasn't my first idea. No. Look, boss, raiders of the Commonwealth, all those mutts understand is force. And I'm thinking it's time you and them came to just such an understanding. But you should probably get going. You wouldn't want to keep our new friends waiting. Wouldn't be neighborly.
The pack don't tuck tail. You'll get what's coming to you.
Life is short, boss. You better get your partying in now.
Hey there.
Well, look who finally made it. We spotted a pretty shady group nearby. Could get company any minute, so watch your back.
Who's
Who's in charge around here? I'll tear their heart out. You! You, the Nuka-World waste pile that thought you could move your gang into Sinner's territory and live? You give me one good reason I shouldn't slice you open and eat your heart right here.
You listen closely. This land is ours. So turn around and crawl back under whatever rock you came from. Right now.
You talk to me like that? Kill him!
Hey there.
Well, look who finally made it. We spotted a pretty shady group nearby. Could get company any minute, so watch your back.
Who's in charge around here? I'll tear their heart out. You, the Nuka-World waste pile that thought you could move your gang into Sinner's territory and live? You give me one good reason I shouldn't slice you open and eat your heart right here.
You listen closely.
Whoa, easy. Take it easy, all right? Sure, just, keep it. Place was a shithole anyway.